Okay, the second growing season, as they call it in Texas. You can see our parched grass. I got the sprinkler going in the garden. I left these couple of tomato plants, not purposely, but kind of ignoring them. And they were having tomatoes, but the bugs, I forget what they're called, they sit there and they suck on the juice that's around the seed. And I've been putting grass clippings down. So the second growing season, I do have one beet survive. Ah, there's another. I planted them along here. Volunteer tomato. And two more. There's another beet there. I'm dropping leaves from all of the basil. And the best looking beet so far. Hopefully that'll keep going. And there's some of the tomatoes over there. Oh, there's one of those bugs. Leaf leg, leaf foot, I forget what they're called. I got a compost pile going there. And actually what I'm going to do is with all these growth, I'm going to cut this down. And as it dries out, I'm going to burn it because I guess you got to have some carbon in the soil to enrich it. There was some melons growing here and they're dried up. We've hardly had any rain, which I'm not complaining because it could have been a tropical storm or a hurricane. So let me show you these bugs. So there's one on the, not the rotting tomato, but the one that's fairly good. And you can see him, he looks just like a stink bug that we used to have on the farm on the melons. But look at his back legs. They're quite large. It won't come into focus, but anyways. I did have one very nice tomato that they did not find. And let me actually, I'll show you what kind of markings they leave. The little light color markings. There's one right by my finger there. That's where they put their little probe in. I wouldn't say proboscis. Oh, I still got a couple of green ones. And they suck the juice that's, there's like a little sac around the tomato seed. When you cut open a tomato, kind of looks like an embryo. And I don't know the scientific term for it, or the gardening term, or the farmer term. But they really, Encinia, and somebody on a video pronounced it differently, but they dry out. Hey, look at this. It won't survive way up there. But a melon climbed the fence, and he's trying. I did have a melon here, and I knew it would break the vine because it's elevated. And so I put a plastic cup out, put the melon in the cup, and lo and behold, I don't think it's any good. I'll cut it open outside here. I'm not taking it in the house. But that compost pile, I'm going to take these pallets, break it down, make a little fire. It'll be more of a campfire than a bonfire. There's still some flowers blooming here, some of the grass clippings. The sun is, the glare from the sun won't let me take a good video there. This is a volunteer tomato plant. Not doing too well there. Ooh. But anyways, there I get some kind of worm that will just take a little bite out of the tomato and it never would ripen. It just rots away. And you can see on this stem something's been munching here. And there was a couple other branches or stems that were showing some munching, but I don't see the worm, so I'm thinking, oh, here was some more. This one here, somebody's been chewing on it, but I don't, and here's another one. I can't find the worm, so I'm thinking the birds, because the bird feeder is right there, the birds come in here and they always jump around the ground and everything between the sparrows and the cardinals. Olga counted 3 cardinal families the other day. But I do have one little volunteer tomato there. just vines everywhere. I need to cut that out. I have those 3 green pepper plants have been producing unbelievable. There's 2 smaller green pepper plants there that are not doing well. That was supposed to be my second growing season. The marigolds died off, but those came back. And there's a small pepper plant just beyond the marigolds. Olga, and I had to laugh. I came out here a couple days ago and I'm like, all right, who took a dump in my garden? It's too big. I know no dog can get in here. There's the gate. There's no dog that can weasel, or a dog that can produce that big thing could fit under that fence. Oh, there's a honeybee. Stay there. And the bees really like the basil flowers. But anyways, there is a tomato plant that is doing okay. That tomato plant is just not gonna make it. So I keep pulling the weeds out and throwing them on that pile. And that's the actual old tomato plants in there that are composting. But I'll burn all of that up and then work it into the soil. I did have a soil test, and the guy also offers minerals and amendments to put on the soil, so I will pay him. And the garden is 13 feet in depth by 39 feet in length, 500 and some square feet. I can't recall what it is, 507 I want to say. But he was saying for 1,000 square foot I would need this, this, and this. And he sells all the minerals, which instead of me buying bags and having extra, I'm just going to pay him for it, and then pay once for shipping and handling. I learned this service from a video on YouTube, a guy that was doing it, and he said he saved a bunch of shipping and handling instead of ordering it individually. So that is the latest. On the construction, I found this, and I ended up pulling it out. I'm like, oh, I can use that for stakes. I haven't straightened it out yet. This is the verbena. I guess I cut it back too much, but that will probably proliferate in the spring. I can't say we have a winter here. It's quite pathetic from the winters that I'm used to from my adolescence and past, I should say. A couple bees in there doing their job. But it was not a very industrious year for my garden this year. But I guess, as Forrest Gump says, it happens. And my favorite thing though is the bird feeder. We saw one mourning dove taking a bird bath, but the other guys don't bathe in it. They'll go and they'll jump in that mud puddle, and oh, they have a blast in it, but they will not jump in the bird bath. And that's the latest.